enough delaying it. Oil Stream, brought to you by Boston Pizza. Check out their playoff menu. It's actually, I'm so pissed at the Oilers because the playoff menu's delicious.
It's so good.
We sold so many playoff shirts.
Yeah.
Got some playoff songs that I invested in.
Yeah.
And now, they're a game away from being done in 8 days.
That's
the playoffs
Oilers.
will be 8 days for this team if they lose tomorrow night.
You know what?
That's insane.
What was more disappointing? I think they were eliminated in 5 in the bubble.
That was really quick. That was
awful.
I remember because in the bubble we were still at 1260.
Yes, sir.
And then Jamo take 2 days off and miss the whole playoffs, something like that.
he
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
He had an extended weekend. That was the entirety of the playoffs.
He came back and they were eliminated, which totally sucks. That sucked big time.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that is.
It happened.
That is not ideal. It is not ideal, but it is the Oil Stream. It is brought to you by Boston Pizza. Nielsen and Gazzola with you. If you are listening to the podcast version of this after the fact, slide on over, sub to the YouTube channel. Join us live on TuneIn and iHeart as well all day from 6 until 6, and then obviously longer on pre- and post-game days as well. Tomorrow they're back at home, so you'll be at Ice House for that game.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. 45 years old.
A young 45.
It's time to get this career going. Yeah, it's
time you're doing quite well.
Time to step it up a notch, I think.
You're doing well to quite well.
Last night I sat down and I said to Tab, I said, you know how it always is around my birthday? I don't know what it is. Like, since I was 20. Like the Habs, if they're playing, always lose on my birthday or around my birthday.
Oh, man.
The Lakers with LeBron, or whoever, whatever. It's all so I sat down yesterday and I said, I'm going to watch the Habs game. So me and the kids watch the Habs game. They lose. I'm like, of course. The Lakers get absolutely pumped. And then the Oilers, to top it all off, have a 2-0 lead. So do the Habs.
Yep.
But the Oilers have a 2-0 lead. And the second period, they've been outscored 9-4 in the second period in this series.
They really have.
It is pathetic.
It is.
Their play in the second period is pathetic. And I don't understand how it can still be the case. I'm getting fired up early here.
I like this.
So in game 1, they give up 3.
Yes.
And didn't score any. And then the last 2, I think both teams have scored in the second period. But then knowing that you've been outplayed so much going into the second period last night and knowing that you've been owned in the second period so far, how is there not a better period there? That doesn't make any sense to me, man. On top of everything else that's going on or not going on with this team right now, it's remarkable that they pissed away the second period again. That's just, it's ridiculous.
It really is.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm with you.
How's post-game last night?
Oh, lovely.
I was in there for a good chunk of it.
Yeah?
It was cruising along, hovering over 1,000 for a while. People were rightfully fired up. I mean, as you should be in that situation, I think.
A lot to be fired up about. I'll just
What were they most fired up about?
That's a fun obviously question. The way the call at the end occurred. But here's the funny thing is why are we wasting, this is just a thought. I'm not mad at anybody or pointing the finger at you, so don't feel offended. But if you think about it, why are we exuding all this energy and emotion on the sequence to get to what was eventually the right call that the war room handled or situate, whatever the hell they call themselves, as opposed to the process prior to that and how the Oilers coughed up a 2-goal lead and then another lead, then had to claw their way back and couldn't get pucks out properly, wasted their best goaltending performance in this series. I know it was what ended the game, and it's fun to yell at the officials. I love doing it. I will always enjoy
It's
yelling
one of my
at the
favorite
officials.
pastimes.
It's wonderful. It's good for the soul. But a lot of the anger, I think, was misdirected at, well, how did they call that a goal on the ice when they didn't see it? And then everybody, basically, it's more or less a consensus, has said, well, they got the right call on the ice. And then I know I'll also this one, that part, well, let's leave. We're done with. This part is an aside. Everybody pointing out and coming up with these AI images or doing your MS Paint, Photoshop, trying to put the line in and where the puck might be, just stop it. It's ridiculous. You're not right. Enough. That one I will point fingers at people because I've seen half the people say, "Oh yeah, I was in," with their squiggly lines that they do, or their lines that don't match the goal line or not parallel with it, and then the others that have it where it's clearly in. Just stop. Don't. I think the focus should be on why this team ended up in that scenario.
Well, and we're gonna get to that. I mean, first of all, just on what you were saying, I think one of my favorite ones that I saw last night pop up online was Mark Kennedy with his finger trying to push the puck back. So it was like Mark Kennedy needed to do this, which was funny. Yes, that's Trev today took it to another level.
What did he
do?
I
hear Trev, he's like, I'm going to find out right now if this puck crossed the line. And I'm working away. I'm not really paying attention to what he's doing. But he walks into my office with his laptop, and he's got the goal zoomed up on his screen.
Okay.
And he's got a little piece of like semicircle paper the size of the puck. And he's got it like over the top half of the puck. And he goes, look, it's touching the goal line. I said, this is literally a cutout little half circle that you're just placing over top of the puck.
Don't do it, Trev. That's not
that
right.
was funny. No, I will say there's a I'd be more fired up if they deserved to win the game, but they didn't.
They didn't.
They deserved to lose the game.
Yeah.
They lost the game. However it went down, they lost the game. Now, the whole process of the whole thing, I will say, I don't know how they ruled that a goal on the ice.
Neither
from
do
those
I.
four
Neither
guys.
do I.
Like
I'm
from
with
those
you on
four
that.
officials, how could any, like what did they say? Poehling said it was in. Poehling had the best view at it, and he pointed at it and said it was in, and they started cheering. Like I honestly believe, who else had a reference point that they could have talked about?
That shouldn't dictate your decision. I said it on the Hangout. If you didn't catch it earlier, but even the way the Oilers reacted, if you saw them just sitting around the crease, nobody yelled at the ref and said, no, it wasn't in.
But I also at least I think the only guy who might have thought it was in was Murphy.
Yeah.
Jarry could have never known it was in. He didn't even look back.
No.
The only one who could have seen it possibly cross the line would have been Murphy.
And that's who stuck his stick in
there. He got his
there
stick behind it and tried to push it back
Him
in.
and Poehling had the best views, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, listen, where I agree with everyone is how the refs concluded that was a goal before sending it to review.
Yeah. Like the call on the ice should have been no goal. Right? They never signaled a goal.
You didn't see it. I didn't hear a whistle for a long time. Like,
no, I still think so. Now then the next level of frustration is people say, okay, well, in the past you've been like, we know that puck's in, but you can't see it. They're going to call it no goal.
Right.
And last night we knew that puck was in.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it. But I still think they would have, even if they'd gone to review, I think they would have saw it and been like, look, guys,
that's in.
Like, realistically, this puck is in. I know you can't see white because of the.
Yeah.
I think they still would have called it a goal anyway.
Yeah.
And it was a goal. Like, if you watched it, was a goal. But people would have really been pissed if they ruled it no goal on the ice. And then you see that review with the puck covered by the skate and then call it a goal. I mean, it would have been a full-blown, massive meltdown.
It was a full-blown meltdown.
Massive meltdown.
It was a meltdown regardless.
Well, I think it would have been a justified meltdown from people in that situation. But
I'm confused by the process from the officials on the ice, how they came to the conclusion that they had a good goal and then kick it up to the review booth and then they confirm it's a good goal. You watch whichever ref, was it Garrett Rank? I don't know, whatever.
Bank, I think.
Jared Brink, yeah. Reed said he was drafted by the Oilers in 2001.
Yeah, so he obviously holds a grudge.
Hates them. Didn't make the team.
Clearly.
Being facetious if you didn't catch that.
I'm
anyway,
not.
You see him. You're the birthday boy. You can do whatever you want today. Okay?
I say he'd been plotting this for years.
Absolutely. He's in April 26, 2026.
Yeah, he's going to save it.
Edmonton, Anaheim,
the long
first
game.
round.
The long game.
I'm going to get those bastards for drafting me and then cutting me and never giving me a shot. I'm kidding. But you just see where he goes from. I think he's in the corner, and then he like hunches over, wheels around, doesn't signal anything.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't hear a whistle. We were at BP 170th last night.
There was no whistle.
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
I don't remember hearing a whistle.
And then
somebody might correct us if we're wrong, but I don't remember hearing a whistle.
Poehling's cheering. The Ducks are cheering. They're starting to walk off the ice from the bench, and then the Oilers are just hovering around the crease. To me, that was a tell that they knew it was in. The refs huddle up and then go up to the booth after somehow concluding it was a goal, but ultimately they got, I think, the right call. So
lots of text reaction to this. Let's start with this one from Safety Bob.
Hi, Bob.
And you can text us at 780-218-9999. Great chat going on amongst yourselves over on YouTube. It's the Boston Pizza Oil Stream. Nielsen and Gazzola with you here today. EST afternoons coming up from 12 until 1, and then the Reed Wilkins show today from 3 until 6. Safety Bob texts in and says, yes, the puck was in, but the fact that the ref blatantly lied and said he saw it in the net is what's troublesome. Refs should be held accountable for their calls, but they're not. If they had to do a press conference after the game and explain to everyone why they made or didn't make the call, reffing would be a lot more consistent. That will never, ever, ever happen. Timber Woodsman said, did the refs even have to call anything before going to review? They must, eh? There has to be a call on the ice, don't you?
Yeah, I think they know they're sending it up to the review booth regardless, so I think they have to make a call. But even if they said no goal and the review says it's a goal, regardless of the angles that we could see, I think it would be anger, frustration, no matter what. Like, I think it was a lose-lose.
Mike outside of Edmonton says, why aren't we using tennis or baseball technology?
That's a great point. I'm with you.
Right? You would have to be able to put like just sensors all around the outside of the puck. And as soon as it's completely over the sensors in the goal line, it's a goal.
There are RFID chips in every single puck used in the National Hockey League. That's where you get your data on puck speed, player speed. There's technology in the ice surface, all around in the arena. How is there no sensor in the goal to
that can tell you if a puck crossed the line?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Can you not calibrate it so that you know the size of a puck? They're all made exactly the same.
So if you put a sensor in the middle of the puck and said this far outside,
there is a sensor in the puck.
Okay, then why can't they do this?
Exactly. So Mike makes a great point. How are we struggling with this? It's insane. So I'm with you on that. And anyway, Jason says, ask Ron McLean the ref's name. He kept saying repeat. Jason, newsflash. I do the pre and post game show. I'm not listening to Ron McLean after a game. I'm doing our own show, which is probably better anyway.
He did mention the ref's name quite a bit.
Jake Brink is his name.
Sean texts in. It says it was a goal and OJ is guilty, but you can only prove what you can prove. The whole discussion and scenario arriving at that being concluded as a goal is ridiculous and everyone knows it. That's the kind of crap that makes people question the integrity of the National Hockey League.
Every league gets its integrity questioned. NFL, they're scripted. NBA, the refs are corrupt. MLB, all they want is money.
I think I might actually agree with all three of those.
Yeah, like every single league has this issue. And people bitch and complain about it, and I love it. It's fun. I'm here for it.
We were asked, and lots of good text messages, so keep them coming in. Where is it here? Mike outside, was it? Nope. It was another guy that started with him. Anyway, somebody was saying, your general thoughts on the officiating so far.
Never good.
Yeah.
The bar is, I said this after game 1 or 2, the bar is so low that I never expect anything good from them, unfortunately. And I've said this for years and years and years. The refs in the NHL, all officials, have done nothing to move the needle, in my opinion, that they're figuring it out. I said it like 5 or 6 years ago after the San Jose St. Louis series where there was the hand pass that led directly to a goal and the refs just skated off the ice. They have been spooked. And it has like infiltrated every official in the NHL. They have egos. They want to be best friends with the players, but then they want to throw every face-off man out of the dot if they can't get it right. Like, the bar, in my opinion, for NHL officials, who are supposed to be the best officials in the world in hockey, is low right now, and it has not improved. And I'm sure there's symposiums and they have meetings and they try to improve things year to year, but I'm sorry. At the end of the day, when the teams are on the ice and the stakes are high, you can't trust the refs to call a good game. And it's not an Oilers thing. It's not a Ducks thing. It could be frickin' Carolina and St. Louis on a Wednesday night in January, and the refs are going to suck in general. Sorry. Not sorry.
I like it.
Thanks, man.
So the Oilers had, I guess it was in the third, excellent shift. They were just buzzing. And then Savoy goes to go behind the net. He gets interfered with by the goaltender. And like that's, that was, the Oilers were all over him that shift. And the only way they were going to relieve that pressure was if something like that happened, if some sort of penalty was taken, and the official after like skating and talking to Dostal, like what's he telling him? You know, man, totally should have called that on you, but I let it go. Like
I like you.
That was a penalty that I certainly missed, and you're welcome. Like what I think it was Ron McLean last night. You know, Ron's a big officials guy, and he was like, look at it, the official talking with the player. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares if they should just call the game how it's supposed to be called, man? Like, that's how I don't care about the communication with the players. Call the penalties. That was clearly a penalty.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's a couple of different things we can look at. Are we done with the goal? Is there anything else in the goal that you want to? Are we done with the goal? Is everybody good with the goal? Have we discussed the overtime winner? Well, actually, let's stay on the overtime winner for a second. Frederick's got to handle that.
That was terrible.
Like, I heard you on the postgame show bring that out. Like, we're going to talk a lot about bounce off a nurse between the legs of Jarry. Where's his stick? What was his stick do? But Frederick has to get that puck out.
You have full possession 5 feet from the blue line, and you turn it over. Leon on the third goal turned it over. The worst place to give up the puck is within one of my coach in junior, as crazy as he was. I love him, a great guy. But one of the most sound things he ever told us was, do not ever turn over the puck on 3 feet either side of each blue line. Ever. Be decisive. Make a play. But do not
Everybody
turn it
who's
over
ever played
ever.
hockey knows that.
It's so simple. And guess what? They did it a couple of times. And these are guys in the National Hockey League, one of them, but the best player in the world. On the game-winning goal, it was a fourth liner. But still, do not turn over the puck.
Game-tying goal, Leon Draisaitl.
Exactly.
Like, those types of things just can't happen. Like, they can't happen in these spots, yet they continue to happen, which is a major concern for this team moving forward in this series. Let's get to your Popeyes spicy headlines today. And for that, I mean, if you're looking for a bite to eat for lunch today, Popeyes 3-piece bone and chicken, just $8 at all Popeyes locations, hand battered and absolutely delicious, marinated for 12 hours. The penalty kill is costing them this series. Like
it's 50%.
I think it's worse than that. Isn't it 8 for 13? Or like the power play is 8 for 13, isn't it? Or did I have that wrong? I thought I saw that last night.
I think the PK, it was worse. It's, what did they go? They went 2 for 4 last night, and it was 4 for 8 going into the game.
It's 4 for 8 going in?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 6 for 12?
So 50%.
For some reason, I thought it was 8 for 13. Okay, no, I'll take your word on it.
I'll double check.
No, you're probably right.
And then the power play is 3 for 10 now, if I'm not mistaken. Which is good. 30% is good.
Yeah, they'll take 30%, but at the 50%, it's just not gonna. That's not gonna do the trick for them.
And you've given up a shorty.
Yeah, that's
pathetic.
That's not gonna get the job done. So what do you do with the penalty kill? Like I mentioned it to Bruce Boudreau today, and Bruce says, "Well, you make adjustments. Like you can't roll the same penalty kill out there when they're getting crushed at 50%." So what do you do? Like, do you take McDavid off the penalty kill?
Well, I don't know why he's on there to begin with.
But you probably didn't see this because did you hear about the reasoning that Sportsnet was saying?
Tell me what Sportsnet said.
So they were saying that they think they're keeping him on the penalty kill because McDavid wants to be on the penalty kill because he doesn't want to sit too long with his bummed ankle because he'll get cold and then. But
who said that?
Bieksa, I think.
Okay.
Or Elliott. It was one of those two guys.
That's a theory.
It was one of those theories because that has to be the only reason.
Why didn't?
Because the penalty kill is supposed to be a bunch of stop and starts, and McDavid's trying to avoid that, I think, as much as he possibly can right now. And the penalty kill sucks.
With all due respect to whoever said that, McDavid has been on the penalty kill all season, and all season we said, why the hell is he on the penalty kill? My rationale hasn't changed. Like, why is he on the penalty kill? He's nicked up now, and now he doesn't want to go cold, but he's ineffective. I would be saving him as much as possible. This is just me. For his 5-on-5 shifts and then on the power play.
And clearly he's laboring.
Yes.
But he didn't even play 20 minutes last night.
They show him wincing on the bench every second.
He played. The game went to overtime. I think McDavid played 19 something. Yep. So they're obviously not managing him like they would usually manage him. And if you're going to be cutting into his ice time, why would you keep him on the penalty kill? That doesn't make sense to me. And somebody replied to me last night when I questioned. I said, why is he still on the penalty kill when he's clearly hurt? And they said, "Are you going to tell the best player in the world he can't penalty kill?" Well, that is the job of the coach.
Yep.
You go to the coach, you go to the player and say, "Listen, we need you to be at your best at all other times. You're not helping the penalty kill.
Yep.
The penalty kill also sucks right now. We have to change something up. And if you want to keep your ankle warm, we'll give you a little bit more time at 5-on-5.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry. And if he's dealing with lower leg issues right now, one or multiple, I don't want him somehow inadvertently or advertently taking a shot off his lower leg on the penalty kill.
I don't see him trying to get in the way.
No, none of them try to block shots.
Like, they don't.
Outside of Connor Murphy and Darnell Nurse. None of them try to block shots. Sometimes Jake Wallman does too. But I would much rather have any lesser player run the risk of blocking a shot off of their boot and not Connor McDavid. Just me. Maybe I'm an idiot. Some people think I am, and that's fine. I understand.
So the penalty kill is killing them in this series.
Yes.
Penalty kill in second period. Like, it's 5-on-5. They're okay.
Yes.
5-on-5, especially in the first and third, they're okay.
Absolutely.
Second periods and the penalty kill. And I'm trying to think if I believe that the penalty kill will get it sorted out. It can't be this bad.
It's bad.
Like, it has to be better than what you're seeing. And it's not like it's the Oilers power play doing this to the Oilers penalty kill. It's the Ducks power play that was bottom third of the league.
That is correct.
Coming into this.
That is
correct.
correct.
And the Oilers penalty kill had been a top 10 penalty kill since the trade deadline. Like, the Oilers were coming in here with the best power play in the league, a top 10 penalty kill since they acquired some of these penalty killers. And the Ducks were coming in with arguably the worst penalty, like the third worst penalty kill.
It was
like 28th, 29th or something.
Yeah.
And then the power play, I think, was 23rd, if I can remember. Yeah,
yeah,
somewhere in that 21, 23 range. And the Oilers are getting smoked right now. That doesn't make any sense.
I did just double check. It is 6 for 12.
6 for 12. Okay.
Yeah, and then the power play is 3 for 10. So, and the shorty given up too, which is insult to injury, salt in the wound.
That doesn't help either.
Yeah, it was terrible. You got to try something. This is it. If you don't do anything and aren't more effective, you're done. So, yeah, Bruce Boudreau is right. Try something and hope it works.
There's got to be something that you could try.
What you're doing right now ain't working, and it's really bad.
Let's dive into the Play Alberta numbers game. Play Alberta, title sponsor of everything we do here at Edmonton Sports Talk. We've got 3 plays already up over on the EST specials page. Still something to come from EST afternoon. Jay's play of the day still to go as well. My play of the day, Dusty's play of the day, Guardians money line, Blue Jays money line plus 210. The early bird bet was Trev on the Flyers, Eric on the Golden Knights. I went on the Nugs and Thunder. That's plus 515. And then Huss and I went the other way on the partner parlay today. Mammoth and Penguins both to win. And then Cooley and Malkin each with a point. And that is plus 542. A couple things to get to on the number game here. I think it was Swainer last night. Usually you're mentioning Swainer stuff in post game.
If you want.
How much did he give you? I got the
a couple.
Most goals allowed through the first 4 games of a series in Oilers history.
That's not what he sent me. He gave me Oilers blown leads this series.
Okay, give me that one.
6 blown leads in this series.
In the series, they've had 6 different leads.
Last year, in the first 3 rounds combined, they had 6 blown leads.
Say that again?
Last year, in the first 3 rounds, they had 6
blown leads
combined total.
So far through 4 games,
they've done it.
They've blown multiple leads in like yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's the other one. He put this on Twitter last night. This is the other Swainer note I had. Oilers most goals against in the first 4 games of a postseason ever.
This round?
Yeah, this round.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, 20. 1982, they allowed 20. So they tie the record. And then last year, they allowed 19, which would have been against the Kings first game, I think. Was the first 4 games of postseason. So it was against
82 against LA, the Miracle on Manchester. That was a lot of high-scoring games, must have been.
And that was a best of 5 at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not a good look. Like, they've given up 1 more goal than they did last year. And I think we're both sitting here kind of in agreement that it's not like, usually you look at that and go, man, their goaltending sucks. But I look at this 20 and I go, but the goalies have kind of been okay. I would think Jarry was better than okay last night.
And they're spotting Anaheim 4 minimum every night at least. And we're going, I don't know if it's the goalie's fault. That's how bad they are defensively. All that crap about we know how to defend, we fix some things defensively is clearly BS. Because they don't. And they won't. And they can't. And they haven't.
I don't think they'll ever, like next year, if they're going through some struggles defensively and they come out and say, we know how to defend, I think that's out the window now. I think this series, I think this series has proven that
they don't.
Because if you did know how to defend, you'd be doing it right now.
That's right.
And they're not doing it. And I think I heard Speck ask Knoblauch, like, you tighten things up defensively last. And I was like, what are you talking about? They allowed 38 shots last night. It was not tightened defensively at all.
Jarry made 34 saves.
Yeah, Jarry played better than Ingram did in the previous game.
Yeah.
But you've allowed 39 and 38 shots in your last 2 games of a bloody playoff game. It's extremely troubling and disappointing. Here's the other numbers game note that I had. This was pointed out to me, and I went and double-checked it. This was pointed out on the Nielsen show this morning. The last time Connor McDavid finished a game with a plus beside his name in the playoffs, Game 4, Dallas Western Conference Final last year.
Oh.
He's been a 0 or a minus player in 11 straight playoff games.
Yikes.
11 straight playoff games for Connor McDavid without a plus next to his... Now he's got points because they get power play points.
Sure.
But that kind of blew my mind. That's why I had to go back and check it. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
But the last time he was a plus player in a playoff game was Game 4 versus Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's not good.
No bueno, as they say. I'll add to the numbers game. The other
probably don't even want to hear that one. Like, that's a bad one.
That's a bad one. That stinks. Swainer gave me this. Oilers all time when trailing 3-1. Lose series in 5 games. Happened 4 times. Minnesota in 91. Colorado in 97. Dallas in 98. Dallas in 2000. Lose series in 6 games. They did it once. New York Islanders, 1981. Lose the series in 7 games when trailing 3-1. They did it once. That was to Florida in 2024, Cup final, obviously. And then win the series in 7 games. So you're saying there's a chance. They've done it twice. Winnipeg in 1990. That was a Stanley Cup winning year. Colorado 1998, which was an epic series. Cujo stood on his head. That was everybody pulling on the rope at the same time in the same direction. Was an incredible series. Then they got their asses kicked by the Stars right after that. So there's that. And then can I get to this one little nasty chat that I like?
Let's do it.
From Paws and Tails 2004. It says, should have never let Corey Perry and Evander Kane walk away. Well, as Peg Nada said 2 weeks ago on Hello Hockey, he certainly wasn't showing up around Vancouver the last couple of weeks. People were like, did you see Evander Kane didn't do the end of season media availability? Just wasn't even there. Pegs was like, I don't know if he was even there for the last 2 weeks of the season.
Checked out.
Not a guy you want around. And then someone also, like, I think that day texted in and was like, wasn't he on his best behavior in Edmonton? And I just looked and I'm like, no. Although he did great stuff in the community, which I applaud.
Timber Woodsman texts in and says, love you. Hopefully you're having a great day. Chicken fried rice is delicious. Oops. Sorry, guys. Wrong number.
Thank you, Timber Woodsman.
Thanks, man. That's really nice. I would agree. Chicken fried rice is pretty delicious. It's my second favorite rice behind, plain rice. So with soy sauce.
I like risotto.
Which is I had risotto when we were in Vegas like a month ago. I had risotto for the first time. Pretty good. Just like a creamy rice. I watched what's his name make it all those years on all those shows. Gordon Ramsay.
Very good.
But risotto was pretty good. All right, keep the text messages coming in at 780-218-9999. That is your Play Alberta, the numbers game here on the Oil Stream today and every day, brought to you by our partners over at Boston Pizza. A huge shout out to the team at Clairview BPs on Friday night. That was a really good time, and it looked like Nassies were out in full force last night as well.
Happy birthday, Cheryl. Rob from the Grove's wife.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, her birthday's,
Dusty.
I think her birthday's tomorrow.
That's right. We sang happy birthday, preemptive happy birthday song for her.
That's nice.
It was good.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Godfather and I put in a shift at BP's on Friday.
Impressive.
Which was, we were there late.
Impressive.
Very late. Yeah.
Very impressive.
It was a pretty good time. I had a lot of fun. It was nice to get out there and enjoy that game. I thought there'd be a lot more coming throughout the postseason, but
I know.
maybe not. We will have to see. All right, so we talked about the penalty kill. It's been disastrous so far. Second periods have sucked the big one as well. Tommy, just in general, like when you're watching this team right now, is it they look tired? Is it they look like they don't want to engage as much as the Ducks? Is it that the Ducks are younger and faster, and that's the, like, how would you describe the general vibe that the Oilers are emitting right now in this series?
Batteries drained. They're hurt.
That's what it looks like, right?
There's nothing. It's one thing where the physical juice is drained. I think the emotional and mental juice is also drained. They're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to say the right thing. They're trying to put themselves in the right headspace to compete in these games. But I think there's so many things right now where there's nothing left in the tank that we're watching an upstart, feisty, rambunctious Ducks team take advantage of that. And it goes back to when I was saying, I think this is going to be a step back here. You know, maybe they're going to make the playoffs, not do great in the playoffs. I thought they'd get through this round. They might still. Outside chance that happens. But it feels like all the hockey that has been played by this group, this team, this franchise in the last 4 or 5 years has finally caught up to them.
I would agree. But still last night, McDavid had that great move around Seneca.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And looked like he was going to try to tuck it around Dostal, and Dostal made the save. And he's just like, those moments, you're like, oh, man, you usually bury those.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, they've had some chances. They're not taking advantage of it, and they're making things too easy for the Ducks at the other end. Like, you can't tell me that the Ducks have had to play through a lot in this series as far as what the Oilers are showing them defensively.
It hasn't been physically imposing for either team, really. A common theme that pops up, whether you're, in Anaheim or in Edmonton, or you're observing this series from elsewhere, it doesn't have the same jam as most of the other playoff series in the first round.
Yeah.
I think that's completely fair. And, part of it, I think, is what I said is Edmonton's tired. These guys, the best players on the team, the veterans, they're tired. And then Anaheim's not an overly physical team, and they're taking advantage. And also, listen, I'll give Joel Quenneville, if you want to throw Jay Woodcroft in there, credit for finding ways to pressure Edmonton and sticking with that plan of attack and it being effective. I'll give him credit. But to me, ultimately, it just seems like the tank is pretty empty for them, and an extra month or two of rest might go a long way to having a bounce back year next year.
Haji texts in and says, the good news is that their backs are completely against the wall. I fear that it won't be enough this time around.
I think they survive tomorrow. Like, I don't think they want to lose on home ice. I think they get to a game 6.
Yeah, I've said it on both shows today. I think tomorrow's a blowout one way or the other.
Yeah.
The Oilers come out of the gate, bury a couple, crowds going nuts. They actually stick it to them. Mm-hmm. And the Ducks kind of fat and sassy, just sort of let it slide. Or the Ducks score a couple early. Crowd turns on the Oilers because they will. Mm-hmm. And then they mail it in. They lose like 5-1. So I think either way, one team's winning by 3 or more tomorrow.
Could happen. If and when they lose, we've seen some of it today. There's been a lot of discussion, which is great, and we appreciate that. Obviously, that's why we do this. The whole blow it up and everything needs to change. This guy needs to go. I understand where that comes from, but I think you're going to have to be a little bit more surgical in the tweaks and changes and fixes you make in the offseason to this franchise. Like, if you just completely blow it up, some people go off the deep end and say, trade this guy and that, like McDavid and Drysdale. Those people are crazy or just emotional. But I do think there will need to be some tweaks, like there has to be year to year, but the right moves have to be made. I don't think they're going to gas Kris Knoblauch. That could change, obviously.
I'm not too sure what happens with Knoblauch.
Listen, it seemed like the waters calmed in the stretch drive, but
This doesn't keep them calm though.
The
Like if you
thing
get
that
eliminated
makes-
in 5 at home.
Well, the owner, okay, that makes it a huge question mark.
Yeah.
Maybe he says, I don't care if your 3-year extension's kicking in, I want you out. But then who do you bring in? And then what do you do with Paul Coffey? Is he on the bench? Is he not on the bench? Then what do you do with, and then people are like, get rid of Stan Bowman. I'm not a Bowman advocate by any means, but he's Jeff Jackson's guy. And if Jeff Jackson's here to stick around, then are you getting rid of Bowman? Probably not. So there's a lot of questions going into this offseason. I said it at the end of the show yesterday. Some people were being smart asses. But I don't think just blowing everything up, firing everyone off into the moon is the right thing. Like some people suggest, you're going to have to be very precise and surgical with the moves you make to make sure you do have that rebound year with a more reinvigorated, re-energized group. I think you keep the core around. Maybe they look at Darnell Nurse and see what.
Well, here's the problem. I was saving this for when they lose the series.
Yeah.
Since 2015, how many coaches have they had?
A lot.
How many goalies have they had?
A lot.
How many cores have they had?
1.
Exactly. Right? Like it's not, they've tried everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying McDavid and Draisaitl, but I'm saying that core have been together for a long time.
Yeah.
And they've tried different coaches over and over and over again. And they've tried different goalies over and over again. And the only thing that remains constant is that group.
Yeah.
And that group has all the control. They're only going to be broken up if they want to. And I don't see why they would want to. So, like, that's, look, hopefully the Oilers can win game 5. We get to be talking about a game 6 on Wednesdays, though, so we're not sitting there doing like a post-mortem on everything.
Right. Hopefully.
But they've tried a bunch of different coaches. They've tried a bunch of different goalies. There's been one core for the whole time. And this is where we're at right now, I guess.
They got close.
Ty texts in to say, I have 2 points to make. 1, please don't reach out and find stats to run McDavid out of town. Well, I mean, sorry for pointing out that he hasn't been a plus player in a playoff game in his last 11. Like, it's a run out of town. It's a fact. I'm not sitting here saying trade him because of it. I'm just pointing out that the best player in the world has not finished as a plus player in his last 11 playoff games.
Just a stat.
It's just a stat.
It's happened. It's a fact. It's a stat. Not trying to run anyone out of town.
Especially not that guy.
No, he wants.
Like, you're not running
stay.
McDavid out of town. You're just saying, hey, at some point, it'd be nice if he finished as a plus player in a playoff game.
He's
which
a
he
good
hasn't
playoff
since
usually.
Game 4 of Dallas. Says, second, I blame the coaching on a lot of this because we've not adjusted our defensive play to match the Ducks' offensive pattern. A lot of times we're sitting back and we're allowing them to set up, and many times they have open players to shoot the puck into our goal. That's a bit of a concern. Many times they have open players to shoot the puck into the Oilers' goal.
They don't defend well.
That's
they really haven't all year. Even I don't know. I'm going to say it. Even in the stretch when they were limiting the goals against, and they're saying, "Oh, see, they can play defense." I just did this. I looked at the schedule and I was like looking at who they faced in those last couple of weeks, and I was like, well, not the most formidable opponents. So, but good on them for cleaning it up against lesser opponents. But it still kind of made me pause and go, I don't know how good this defense is, or how well and how much they've improved defensively.
We got into some bigger picture stuff there, which we can save. We might have 2 months.
Sorry.
We might have 2 months to talk about it.
I've dipped into it a bit
until free agency starts. But what about Jarry last night? And what do you do?
Good.
What do you do between the pipes, you think?
I think they probably start him again. He's given them the best start in the 4 games between the two guys.
I think Ingram's game 1 might rival it. He was awesome in the third period in their 1 win. Like, I think those are the 2 best starts.
I still think Ingram's the better goalie.
I think that's why I would go to Ingram.
I wouldn't mind seeing Ingram back in there again.
It doesn't matter if they continue to play like they are.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much separating the best Ingram game from the best Jarry game so far, but I do think that you played Jarry, and he was probably your best player on the ice.
Yeah.
Faced 38 shots.
Yep.
But now you must win. And to me, in a must-win situation, you would probably go with the guy that you thought was the guy to start the series and play the first 3 games. Right? He's the guy that you had the most confidence in through the first 3 games of the series. It wasn't like he was trash. I didn't think he was trash.
I would have started him yesterday.
I think I'd probably
anyway.
go back to the guy that has your only win in the series, who got a little bit of a rest, and who has been undoubtedly your best goaltender so far this season. Like, I think that's probably how you go down fighting.
I would have started him regardless yesterday, even though we got a surprise.
But shout out to Jarry. Jarry played well.
Good on him. He rose to the occasion.
He did make some good saves.
He deserves credit for that.
He did make some good saves. So, yeah, we'll see how that sorts itself out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's quite goaltending. We'll leave it. Leave it.
What do you do with the lines here? What do you think? What do you think, Knoblauch? What's the
go
move?
nuke? I don't care. Go nuclear for crying out loud.
Play injured McDavid and Draisaitl together. You know what? He might do that.
Maybe
he might do that. Backs against the wall.
Yeah.
Yo,
although
McDavid leans on Leon, like I'm talking physically lean on each other.
Yeah,
out on the ice to keep each other propped up,
and then give each other pats on the bench, like I got you, dog. I got you, dog. Next year's going to be our year. It's wholesome.
I'm trying to think what they would do with the lines.
Do anything and everything. I mean,
I would have Hyman back with Connor McDavid. I might just go Hyman, McDavid, and Draisaitl and say, "This is it. This is the last hurrah. Gonna go down fighting. Go down with the guys that are supposed to be your best."
Or you could start with the lines that they've been using. See how it goes with Podkolzin and Kapanen and Draisaitl. And then give it 5 minutes. And then
I would just be like, here you go.
I mean, I'm just saying you could.
You could do that. But if you're going to do that, you might as well just go right off the start and be like, they're coming at you.
Yeah, pull out all the stuff.
And then you hope that somebody else somewhere along the way can find a way to contribute. And that the nuclear line actually finds itself again.
Yeah.
And lives up to that name.
83 runner says, pull a goalie, run 6 forwards. Interesting.
That's going to be tough.
No.
That's going to be tough.
That's all in. I'll give you that.
Max Mazuzu said coaches tweaks need to be more towards strategy and structure than just changing lines and starting goalies.
I mean, their breakouts, they need to find something to do with their breakouts because their breakouts aren't good. They go to the well. Reed talked about it last night on the postgame show, 90-foot stretch passes, hope plays, if you will. Rather than quick, short, crisp passes to work their way up ice. Another thing, too, when they do get into the offensive zone, there was an instance where Draisaitl button-hooked between the top of the circle and the blue line and tried to fire a pass across 85 feet to an incoming
went over the blue line?
D-man, and it went out. Instead of just going deep. You had 2 forwards. His 2 wingers were going down deep, ready to go cycle the puck. I've seen a lot of people rightly point out.
I've seen a lot of Draisaitl like looking up to the sky.
Yeah, but he makes those plays.
I know. That's
Send
the thing.
it down low.
His body language kind of sucks right now. I think it's probably because he's hurt.
Probably.
And it's just like added frustration on. But a couple of times, multiple times in the game last night. Was it at the beginning of overtime? Was it came out for that shift and then the puck just missed him along the boards inside the blue line and he just went to the bench and just coasted off.
Yeah.
Multiple times in the game last night, Podkolzin made a mistake and Draisaitl was like, I don't know. They look like they're done. Like they look like they're physically and mentally beat down.
Yeah.
And I'll be shocked if the Ducks don't finish them off with like a young team full of energy right now. Like just
don't do it tomorrow. I don't want to see Oilers fans watch the team go through the handshake on home ice. Just the fans here pour a lot of their heart and soul and
money.
Honestly, well-earned money, too much of it, into their team to have something like that, have it end that way. I feel for them.
Andrew, the accountant, says structure does not matter when the guys on the ice don't put an effort in to win any puck battles or use their brains at all.
Valid. It's been tough. But they've had a lead in every game. Multiple leads in every game.
They've had multiple, they've had, yeah. That's the thing. You can get the lead if you can just hang on to play some defense. But they just can't do it.
The whole play the defense thing.
Well, I think
the tricky part.
Tom over on
great name.
The inbox there at 780-218-9999 says, also, looks like coffee has hit the games coached before they tune you out again limit. I mean, as far as the ability to defend right now, it's not looking great. And that's his thing, I guess.
Yeah, sure. If that's what the common rhetoric is out there among oil country, okay. I'm not going to fight it anymore. Sure. Whatever you guys say.
Haji says, Game 5 strategy. Take the fall. Act hurt. Get indignant.
Hang on a second. That worked for District 5 so well.
It did work pretty well over there for that man. That could be...
they won the Minnesota high school championship or whatever it was.
Vincenzo's in it says, I was so mad last night that I played Duck Hunt on the old Nintendo.
Classic.
Good. I like that. Amos Moses says in the inbox, 780-218-9999. Let's keep this conversation going. EST Afternoons is coming up over on YouTube. Turn on the little autoplay button. That'll take you right over to EST Afternoons. Amos Moses text says, first, let me say I legitimately still believe the Oilers can possibly come back in this series. Go Oilers! One, do the Oilers go with Jarry again for Game 5? We already kind of laid that out. We'd probably both go Ingram. But it doesn't matter if they continue to play the way they play. Does Jarry playing okay last night potentially extend the Jarry as our starter experiment for longer than we possibly thought and hoped for?
I would hope that one game would not make them think, all right, here's our guy next year.
But it might have.
I hope not. I mean, I guess
Bowman's sitting up top there just being like, got a starter for 2 years at $5 million.
5.5.
5.5.
And that would be awful. Just really quickly on the Jarry thing, Gord Mamer in the Nasty Chest says, Tommy, you said on the pregame show the other day, it was last night, that the start for Jarry maybe came from above. Do you think Bowman or Jackson or somebody up top made that call? I just threw it out there. I didn't ask, I didn't inquire. I'm not going to bother anybody about this. That was just me thinking out loud when I brought that up on the pregame show yesterday. Ultimately, it's Kris Knoblauch who puts the names down on the lineup sheet and has to declare the starter. But going back to last year's playoffs, Game 1, Josh Brown played against the Kings. I don't know if many people remember that. He got scored on his first shift. Barely played in that series. And people were like, why the hell is Josh Brown playing? And I did inquire about that and was told that there was some politicking happening to get him in because they had some injuries on the back end. I think Klingberg was out and maybe one other guy. And I was like, oh my God. And that crap does happen. And not just in Edmonton. It happens on all teams at all levels where people with certain amounts of power fight for their guy to play, whether it's right or wrong. And sometimes it does affect what happens on the ice. And that Gord is where I kind of came up with, I wonder if someone told Knoblauch, hey, you should start so-and-so. That was just me thinking out loud. That's where it came from.
Calvin CMC thinking out loud in the Nasty Chat says, Roslovic should have taken the rumored 4x4 he was offered. I don't think we'll get a contract now, but I'm not putting that past Jackson and Bowman.
I can't even argue that.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens on that one. Of course, if the Ducks were to win Game 5, that is a gentleman's sweep for the Ducks. And Eric and I have confirmed that we will likely do a sad gentleman's sweep show the very next morning.
As
opposed to a very happy, upbeat gentleman's sweep show.
Yeah.
It'll just be a horrible gentleman's sweep show. Just awful.
Instead of bottles of wine, you're having crappy Earl Grey tea.
We were going to drink White Russians in honor of Trev watching The Big Lebowski for the first time.
Oh, what a movie. Yeah. Great drink. Can't have too many of those. Too much milk, though.
Yeah. Well, I do like milk.
It is good, but
we're not going to sit here and drink 10 White Russians on Wednesday.
We'll have to carry you guys home.
I have a bottle of red. Well, red for the gentleman and discuss what the future looks like, I guess. Barry Getman says, speaking of Josh Brown, watched him play against Coachella Valley Firebirds this weekend. He's so bad, even at the AHL level. Well, he's only got, what's he got left now? One more year after this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there we go. So there's that as well. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Plan on settling in. We've got 5 more hours of coverage of this series coming your way with EST Afternoons and the Reed Wilkins Show. And then Tommy Gazzola will be back at Canadian Ice House.
Yes, sir.
I really hope the crowd just gets them going and keeps them going.
Me too.
Like, just stay on it. You're gonna need to push this team to a dub at home in Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be very fascinating to see how the crowd reacts if they,
I think,
fall apart and sort of mail it in.
Now, listen, it's one thing for the players and the team to have only a little bit of gas left in the tank, if any. I think fans are pretty tired too and worn out.
Yeah,
they bring it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's always the atmosphere in the 2 games were pretty damn good. Weather sucked outside. You didn't get as many people outside, but I don't know. It feels like it's lots of playoff series in a row, year after year. That probably wears on the fan base to a certain extent too. I'm not saying that that's an excuse or anything to not cheer as hard or will them on to victory in the building yesterday, but it's been a long stretch, Dusty.
Yeah, I think this is really sick of me, but I'm kind of partially, not 2 months of it, but I'd be looking forward to about 4 weeks of really dissecting this roster and trying to fix it.
Oh, we will.
You know how it always used to be at 1260 all the time? You're like, okay, well, here's 9 possible free agent targets. The last few years, it's been, cup's over. Free agency next week. There's been no time to really dive into the main issues.
Wasn't the draft like 3 days after the Stanley Cup final Game 7?
It's been super quick.
Yeah.
So now I have 2 months of bitching possibly.
Awesome.
Which will be pretty interesting. Plus, on the other side of it, 5 months for Connor McDavid to get healthy and get rested and load up for 2 possible runs before the Oilers have to find a way to convince him to stay again.
Next year,
probably be pretty important for him. Pretty important for him.
Yeah.
Right? Well, this offseason is going to have a lot to do with it.
That's a good point.
Right? Mm-hmm. They gotta nail this offseason for sure. All right. We got EST Afternoons coming up next. What's coming up, Zacticum? What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, Matt Wanek, former Oiler Joaquin Gage, hit the airwaves 1 to 3 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. A banger show on tap. We'll look back on the 4-3 overtime loss from the Oilers in Game 4.
Hernan Salas takes off a Friday to Monday. Might miss the playoffs.
Unreal. Where is that guy?
I don't know. He's probably sitting out somewhere enjoying his time. I don't know. Yeah. But he'll be back tomorrow, so Hernan Salas will be back.
Oh, sure. He'll be in a great mood. Coming back on elimination day.
Absolutely fired up.
It's going to reek like cigarettes.
We also talk a bit about the NFL draft with Brian DiArdo, and we'll have the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. We hit Friday, and we're looking to hit 2 times in a row today.
All right, nice work. All right, keep that streak going. If you're watching over on YouTube, there's a little button with a little play. You hit that, it'll take you to autoplay. When this show ends, it sends you over to EST Afternoon. Stick around for the conversation. I can't wait to hear what Maddie and Gager have to say for the next couple hours. I know Reed Wilkins and the Glue Guy are pretty fired up from 3 until 6 today. You can listen on TuneIn and iHeart and at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and of course live over on YouTube as well.
Happy birthday, big boy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Best of luck with pre and post tomorrow.
Oh,
right?
Thank you.
That should be interesting. For Tommy Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you for listening or watching to the Boston Pizza Oil Stream. Talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock on The Nielsen Show.